Next mayor of the capital city, Pedro Segarra, city council president, is poised to take over the reins of the city from Mayor Eddie Perez, who, of course, as you now know, is a convicted felon. And Mr. Segarra is with us now. Mr. Segarra, nice to see you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Back here in the program, you were once a supporter of the mayor on a personal level. How disappointed are you in his actions?
I think I and a lot of people are very disappointed at the situation. I mean, this is not something that, of course, we were expecting. You know, we are very disappointed.
There was a lot of upheaval during the trial. A lot of people wondering, well, why is he in office? When would he leave if convicted? Do you see the need to change any laws under your reign, or, you know, your mayorship, that to prevent this sort of thing in the future?
Well, you know, city constitutions and state constitutions and statutes always try to anticipate different situations, and I don't think that this one was precisely anticipated. We had a lot of questions during the proceedings, and the only thing that we could do to sort of play it safe was to basically take the posture that someone is presumed innocent, and that we'll have them have their day in court and then eventually deal with the situation after the verdict. When the verdict came, then we needed to react very quickly, and there was really no blueprint, no plan as to how we were going to get through that phase of the situation.
Let's talk about what you have to do right away when you are sworn in. You have to pick your replacement, or the council has to pick your replacement, and also you have to pick a new member of the council. How does that work?
Well, once I take office of the mayor, the council will have a period of time to interview and select my successor. I don't get to participate in that process. That's a process that's totally up to the council to fill that 9th vacancy.
And is there a special election, or they just choose someone?
No special election. People will express their interest. They will interview different people, I assume, and they will make a decision just the way that I was interviewed and I filled the vacancy back in 2006.
You're probably the most experienced mayor the city has had in a generation, so the expectations are high in the next 17 months that you'll be able to accomplish a lot. What is your vision for the city?
You know, I have a very big, bright and positive future for the city. If I didn't, I wouldn't invest the time that I invest in the many things that I do, in addition to my role as a city council president. So I have a vision that it could be a big, dynamic city, that it's cultural and artistic institutions, its different ethnic communities, and its financial resources could be all put into a mix so that we can have a city that is vibrant, that is fun, that's a good place to work and to play.
The Perez administration was widely viewed as unfriendly to business. A lot of companies left for the suburbs during the last 10 years. My employer, MassMutual, MetLife, ING, a lot of small companies. How do you sit down with companies and say, listen, we want you to stay here, and you need to go out and recruit businesses, don't you?
Well, for a lot of the businesses that have left, I think that the approach would be, you were once part of the city, and there's still a role for you in the city, and we need you. We need new businesses. But I think we need to take the first step to do that approach, to invite them over. I think that our city has lots to offer. You know, we're a big cultural center. I think that they could be great partners in not only coming back to the city to do business, but also help us in the process of rebuilding the city. And I think that that will help those corporations as much as it could help the city itself. I think it could be of mutual benefits. But I think we need to work very hard to bring those corporations over. The other thing is to try to enlist the assistance of the state and the federal government, so that we are not burdened with having to make the sacrifices that one often has to make to bring the businesses in, because we have limited resources. But I think that we will need some help from the state and from the federal government, and hopefully we can have a plan in place to bring these businesses back. But I do agree, we need to at least stop the hemorrhaging and prevent any further businesses from leaving, and invite back the ones that we're able to attract back.
You know, there is some talk that, you know, you're a hands-on, face-to-face type of guy, and that you're going to want to sit down with the governor right away and Senators Dodd and Lieberman to get this thing going. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I want to reach out to the governor. I know that she's not running for re-election, but work with the next governor to make sure that they can understand, and that the legislative delegations, both state and federal, really understand the unique problems that our city has, but also work with them and also show them that we are doing everything that we can at our level to make sure that they are convinced and know that it's not that we're just asking for a handout, that what we're trying to do is be responsible with the resources that we have, but that those resources really aren't enough because of our particular situation of being a capital city where half of our tax properties are exempt, and where basically we have a population that still has not lifted itself out of the poverty conditions that we have so as to generate enough revenue to do all the things that we need to do.
It is a poor city, and there's a belief that you need to bring in some money to the city. You need to bring in some more middle-class people, perhaps upper-class, corporations, so forth. What do you do to go recruit companies to come here in stores and so forth? And we have a lot of empty storefronts downtown.
Well, you know, we could do that, but at the same time, we must not lose focus that we've started, along with this previous administration, a process of rebuilding our schools. We have some excellent schools that have taken off and are yielding a product. So I think we have to, at the same time that we nurture our community to educate those students, create an environment where the new companies and new opportunities come in. This is a challenging time. We're in a depression, a worldwide economic recession, and we need to do that during a very challenging time. But I think that this climate also offers us some opportunities, and I just don't think that we fully exploited that because we've been distracted with some things that unfortunately have diverted our attentions.
What do you think the #1 problem facing the city right now is?
Stability. Stability. We need to very quickly become a stable government. And then we have to deal with the fiscal challenge, and because it's a very big problem and it's only getting worse. We did as best as we could this year. As council president, I led the charge to make sure that we stopped these tax increases that were happening. They were also creating a lot of the push for businesses to leave because they just couldn't make it. So we were able to stabilize that this year. Now we have to work even harder going in future years to make sure that we stabilize our economic position.
Briefly, yes or no, do you think you'll run next year?
I don't think so.
You know, so this is a short-term thing.
Well, I'm encouraging, and I'm looking at other really people much more qualified than myself to jump in that race.
Pedro Segarra, next mayor of Hartford.